Let us try to solve the second problem in the part A of C# and .NET Lab. The second exercise is as follows. We are supposed to design a VB interface containing a picture box whose picture should be changed every 5 seconds. And they are saying that use 5 pictures for every second. 5 seconds you have to change the picture. And then text boxes to display date and time, day and greeting based on the time. Time has to be changed every second automatically. Use scroll bar to change the font size and background color of the text box that shows the greeting. And again they have said to use timer and scroll bar, and they have given a sample interface. This is what we are supposed to create. So let's go ahead and let's start the Visual Studio, and under Visual Studio I'm going to start a new project. So I'm going to click on File, New and Project, and I'm going to select the Windows Form application. As usual, give a proper name to your project and store at a proper location. Click OK, and the Visual Studio will create a project for you. And under this project, it is going to create a default form for us, and we are going to use that form to design our interface. I'm going to go to this corner over here and slightly increase the size of this particular form so that it can be fitted. And we have few labels here. So let me put a label. I'm going to go to the toolbox over here, and you can search by scrolling, or you can just say label, type here label, and just double click on this label. And if you click here, you notice that the label has appeared. So this will be the label that is going to come at the top. And then we have a picture box. This is going to be the picture box. So let's click on the toolbox, and I'm going to just search for the picture box. So you can just type PICT and you get this picture box directly. And I'm going to just double click on it, and the picture box will appear there. Just click here and drag it, and as they have given it at a particular corner over here, I'm going to just drag and make it slightly bigger. Maybe I can keep it here. And then we have a label and 3 labels and 3 text boxes. I already have a label, so I'm going to just click on it, press the control button, hold down the control button and drag it, and leave the mouse button first and then the control. You have the label with you. Now I have, otherwise you can go here and get the label. So this is a long route. Then I have the text box to be obtained from here. So I'm going to just type text, and you get when you type this text, you are going to get the text box. Double click on the text box, and then it is going to appear here. Just drag it and keep it at the proper location. So this is the text box. And then let me go back to the form that they have given. Then we are supposed to create 3 such things. So I'm going to go over here, and look at what I'm doing is I'm going to click outside here, click and drag, just click and drag. You're going to make a selection. So just click, you can click here and then drag it, click here and then don't click on the object itself, click outside the blank area and then drag, and you're going to make a selection. Once the selection is done, hold down the control, go here on either label or on the text boxes. You see the icon, so you see the mouse pointer, and you see the mouse pointer is a 4-headed arrow. Press down the control and drag it, and you notice that as you drag, you'll see a plus sign there in the box saying that it's going to make a copy, and just leave it. Okay, similarly do it one more time. Make a selection, go here, press down the control and just drag it, and you get the 3 text box along with the labels. And then we have a few text boxes here, 3 labels, 3 to 4 labels are there, and I'm going to just get the 3 to 4 labels. I think I will make some rooms for them. Again, make the selection like this without control. If you are moving, you see I'm moving now without the control. Without the control, if you are moving, it's going to be just movement. Without that plus, it is just moving up and down. So now I have the label with me. I'm going to click on any of the label. Any of the label will work for me. Press down the control button and drag it. You have the label that it's going to be come here somewhere. You're going to get this label, and then I need 3 more labels here. I'm going to get this 3 labels one after the other. So click on it, press the control button, and we are going to get the first label. Again, click on it, press the control button, drag it down. You have the second label. Click on it, press the control button, leave the mouse button first and then the control, and you have the 3 things with you. And then we are supposed to get the scroll bars. Let's look at the scroll bars here. We have the 3 horizontal and vertical scroll bars. So let's search for the scroll bars. I'm going to go to the toolbox again. I'm going to click on the toolbox again. If the toolbox is not visible, go to the view, and then you will get the toolbox. So somewhere you get this toolbox here, and you can see that. Okay, now let me go to the toolbox, and then let me click on the scroll, and we have this horizontal. You see they are shown the arrow there, the horizontal and vertical. So I want the horizontal first. Just double click on the horizontal and then click outside. You notice that the horizontal scroll bar has appeared. Just click here and then rather place in front of it, and I'm going to just make it slightly. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, that's okay. One is done. You can reduce the size of it. Okay, now that's its size. Then I want 3 such things, so click on it, hold down the control button, drag it. You get one more thing. Click on it, press the control button first, drag it, and then leave the mouse button first and then the control. You have it here. After this, we are supposed to do some other additional thing, and the other additional thing is we are supposed to get a one vertical scroll bar along with a text box there. So let me go ahead and let's get one label. So I need that is I think label, not the text box. So I'm going to click on this label. Any label will work for you. Hold down the control button, drag and leave it. Okay, you have it here, and then you need a scroll bar. So let's go to the toolbox and then get the scroll bar. It's already there. Just search for SCR, you are going to get it. So click here, double click on it, and just click outside and then just drag it down. Maybe you can slightly do it. Don't waste your time, too much of time in making it larger and other things. Then we have the last one as the button. So let me go to the toolbox and then search for the button. I'm going to just type BUT and it's going to get the button for me. Okay, I have the button, double click on it, and you notice that the button has appeared. Somewhere it's going to appear. Click and drag it and just leave it. This is going to be the end button. With that done, I'm going to just reduce the size of this form so that it's going to appear like this, and there is this label at the top. Then we have to now fix the all the label part. So I'm going to go to the first label here, this first label, right click on it and go to its properties. And in the property, first thing I'm going to go over here in this property is I'm going to go to this corner here. It is not the close, it is one. So this is going to pin it. So I'm going to just pin it there so that I can quickly change the things. And a lot of things are written on this particular label here. Program to display various images and date, comma time and greetings. So let's go here and go to the, so I've selected this label, and we are supposed to write something there. So I'm going to go here to the label and text, and I'm going to say program, what is this, program to display, what is this, greeting, what is this, images, pictures, whatever. Let me read that thing, or something is written. Display various images, date, time and greeting. Display various images, display, okay, various images and date, comma, time and greetings. Okay, so many things you have to write. Okay, if you just click outside, it's going to come here, and then okay, this much you have to write it. Click here and then just get it at the middle somewhere. You're going to keep it here, and the greetings should have been there. I think I left the there. This is going to be a terrible thing there. Greetings. Okay, I'm going to go to the font for the same label. I'm going to go to the font because if you notice that they made it as bold, and maybe the italics has been done. So let's go to the font here of this label where you've written everything. Click on this font, and I'm going to make this size as 10 maybe, and then the bold is there. I'm going to make this bold as true, and italics, if you look at this one, italics, you just make it as that is it. Okay, and when you try to do it, it's going to go beyond the screen. Just click here and then drag and leave it at this corner. So that's done. Then let's fix the other labels. We have to type a lot of things there. So date, time, greetings. So let's fix one of the other. So I'm going to click on this label now. So I'm going to click on this label, and I have that's the label 2, whatever the label may be. So you have date here, and I'm going to just type there, and the next label I'm going to click on here and then change the text of it. So I'm going to change the text of it. So this is the text of the label number 3. I'm just changing the text, and I'm going to say time, and the next one I have is the greetings. So this is what I have. So greetings, I'm done. And let's see what is the next thing that I think something else is here. And what is this? Click to change the color. Okay, so that is what they have written there. Click to change the color. So for this I'm going to say click to change the color. Okay, done. And I'm going to just clip it here, so somewhere here. Okay, done. And this one is the, what is that, red, green and blue. Okay, so everything in capital. So I'm just clicking here and then changing the text property of it. So red, and I need to change the 4 color. So is there a 4 color there? So let's look at the font. Where is this? Okay, this is a 4. So it is a control text. Somewhere you get this color. I am not so very much excited by the colors and all the other jigs there, because that's not going to make your life easier. If you try to change the color, you're going to irritate the users. So that is the first thing. Okay, you think that I'm going to change something, and I'm going to make it appear neat. Then it's going to be a terrible thing. Okay, so somewhere you will find the color. Okay, font, where is that color gone? Okay, so image for right, left, and you have to search. Okay, you will find somewhere. I'm not going to bother about that. I will go ahead with my next thing, and that is the next text, and that is the green. Okay, and the last one is the blue. I will fix that color at the end. Okay, so let me I'm not getting, somewhere you will get one property that says it's the color of the text. Okay, so I think it must be there in the it should be there in the this one only. okay, for color of this font. Okay, somewhere you must get the color for that. Okay, I'm not getting it. Let me see at the end. If I get it, I'm going to fix that color. This is just a color for that. And I have the button here, that, and one more text box, and then that says change font. Okay, this is a label, and I'm going to say change font. Okay, change font, and I think they've made it as a bold. Where is that? There, 10, and make it as bold. I think they have made it as bold. Something else they have done, they have put a border for that. I'm not going to do it because it's going to look odd if you try to do it. So already it is odd, but let's say, and let me change it as italics, so it's going to appear slightly italicized, and then I have the last button over here. Then that button is going to end the show. I'm going to click on this button and again search for the text of that button, and I'm going to say end. Okay, that's done. I think we have fixed everything over here. Now let's go ahead and let's put some images onto this text box, the picture box. So you have the picture box. I'm going to remove this pin here. I'm not closing it. Look at what I'm doing. I'm removing this pin. Some of you just close this thing, and then you are lost altogether. So don't close it, just remove that pin, and it will be unpinned and you can see that. Now let's come back to this picture over here, and in this picture click on this smart tag over here, and you get an option to choose a image. So let's choose images, and then we will go ahead with it. So let me click on this choose images, and you notice that there is nothing is there in your project, so you need to import few images into your projects. Let me click on this import, and let me select some images. Now this is not I'm not taking drugs, this is my students, they final year students, they did some project on online pharma, and so they have some images. Okay, so I'm going to select 1 2 3 4. I need one more somewhere. Okay, I'm going to select this one, 1 2 3 4, and 5 images, so that they have already said 5 pictures. Somewhere they mentioned 5 pictures, so we will go with the 5 pictures. Click open, and you see all the 5 images are there. Okay, so these are my students images. Some images they have it. Okay, let me click OK, and the next thing that we are supposed to do is we are supposed to go to this property here, and then make it auto size, or you can say stretch image, so that it's going to appear here. Otherwise you will see, if you make it as normal, you see that it is going to appear in orange. If you make it a stretch image, it's going to go like this. So that's nice, is it not? So that being done, we have almost everything with us. What is the next thing that they are saying is picture box whose picture should change at every 5 seconds. That means to say that every 5 seconds, even though you have added only one picture, every 5 seconds the pictures has to change. So how do you do that thing? For this, you need to keep track of the time. So after every 5 seconds, something has to happen. So every 5 seconds you must tell this particular picture box that you change your picture. How do you change that thing is you set a timer. You see this the timer, the alarm clock that you have at home. So this alarm clock will tell you, okay, this let's say, okay, what is this? Alarm clock will tell you what is the time, and after 15 seconds it will alarm. So similarly, we need a control that can maintain the time. How do I do that thing? I'm going to go to the toolbox here, and I'm going to search for the timer. I need something that is going to maintain the timer for me. So let's see, and you see that there is one timer. Fortunately, there is a timer control there. I just type timer, and I have this timer control. Okay, as usual, just double click on it, and when you double click on it, one thing you will notice that the timer control will not appear on the form that you have just created. The reason for that is timer control is there, but it doesn't have any visual appearance. It will just maintain the time in the background, but it like your picture box or the text box or scroll bar or anything for that matter, that shows up when you run the form. These things are going to show up on the form, but timer is there, but it is going to do its work without making a show off and showing it to the user. So behind the scene it will do the needful thing for us. That's the reason you see that timer is just going to appear here. Now few things that you must understand is the timer must be started. It will not start automatically. You have to tell the timer start it, and you may have to tell the timer to stop it at the end. Okay, so when do you start it? When the form is loaded, when this form appears. Let me just run it. So when the form just appears on the screen, you must tell the timer, okay, this is the time you start. And then when the form is ending, you may say that okay, timer, we are going to close now, just stop it. Okay, so see, this form has appeared. So when it appears for the first time, you have to tell the timer that you start. So how do you do that thing? So for that you need a event. When the form is getting loaded, the form will tell you as a developer that do you want me to do something when I start? Okay, and you have to say what you want to do it when the form is started. How do you get that event? So you have empty place anywhere, here, anywhere. Don't click on any of the controls here. Empty place on this form. Here is there somewhere, here is there. Just double click on it. So 2 times click it on the form, and you have the form load event. This is the event that I'm interested in. So when the form loads, when it shows up on the screen, that is the loading. So when it loads, what you want to do it, I want to start the timer. So I'm going to go here. So the timer, so that is the timer 1 is my timer control, and I'm going to just say start it. So I have to put this thing, it's a method. So start the timer. Now they said that the timer has to go for 5 seconds, but this timer by default the timer is set for 1 second. So I'm going to click on this timer here. So down here you see this timer which is not appearing on the thing. Right click and go to its property. So I'm going to the property of this timer, go to its property, and in the property you will see there are not many properties are there, and it is having an interval 100 milliseconds. I'm going to make it as 500 milliseconds. So that is 5 seconds roughly. So you have the timer with you. Now what must be done? You have to tell the timer that every 5 seconds I will give you a new picture, show the new picture. So in other words, you have to tell the timer that you have started over here, you have to tell the timer that every 5 seconds you come back to me and I will give you a new picture, show it on the picture box. So how do I get that thing? So let me go and just double click on this timer itself. Just double click on this timer. When you double click on the timer, it's going to generate an event called a stick event. This stick event is set to the timer that you are setting it here. On the property you set the time is 500 second, that is milliseconds. So at every 500 milliseconds it is going to come back to you and say that is called as a tick. It's going to come back to you and say, what do you want me to do? So 500 milliseconds are over, what do you want me to do? So every 500 seconds it's going to come back, and it's going to come back to this method, and it's going to say, okay, tell me what is that I'm supposed to do after 500 milliseconds. Here I have to set, okay, we have 5 images and we have to make note of they said that 5 images must be there and it should be changed. We have already collected 5 images with us, it's there on the resources. I will create a integer variable. So I'm going to say dim I as integer. This is what I'm going to do. So by variable default integer value is 0. So if you want, you can set I is equal to 0, but you know that initial value of integer is 0. If you want, you can say just 0, but I don't think so. It is not, it is really required. And the form loads I is 0, and I'm going to increment the value of I. So if I is 0, first image should be there, I is equal to 1, second image must be there, I is equal to 2, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to say if I equal to 0, then I want to change the picture in the picture box. So you have this picture box over here. If you look at this picture box property, the name of it is picture box 1. So this is this name, picture box 1. So I'm going to say picture box 1. So you have this picture box. So picture box 1, can you change the image that you are displaying it? So where is this image? If you notice that when I imported my images, it is there under a folder called as resources. So it is there under a folder resources. So where do you get this one? Now as usual, you go to my project, you go to this my project, double click on this my project, and this time you have already seen that thing. If you notice this one under my project, under resources, it will, let's say, it has taken care of all the resources that you have. These are the images that you have used. Okay, so these images are there. I got one. Okay, so I think this image has some problem. Let me see whether that image, okay, I'm going to just remove that image. It's going to give me some error. It just gave me some error. This I think I've selected, see that what the students have done is it's not just a JPEG image that they have other images. I'm going to just remove it. In your case it may not happen. They have WebEx images also. I think that image, so this is actually JPEG image. You know that thing. When you download the image, it downloads as this. Then now you have something called as a web image. Okay, so that's slightly different. You know, you've studied web in the last semester, I suppose. I don't know whether in last semester or next semester. This is not that image. Okay, I will get one more image. Let me just give me a second. In your case, such a bad situation may not appear. So I'm going to go here. This is some extra, sorry for that, some extra stuff over here, and I'm going to say choose images. I already have the banner 1, banner 2, banner 3, banner 4. I need one more images, just one image. I'm going to import one more image. I think this is not a great idea. I think I will select biotin. Okay, I don't know, I'm not advertising for any of the company as such. Okay, just biotin. Okay, it's going to appear here, and if I go to the images, it should appear biotin. Okay, so just ignore that, pretend as though you have not seen this. I'm adding some new things, so you have not seen that, but when you do it, it's going to be there in the project, and under projects it's going to be there under resources. Your images will be there as a part of the resource. Okay, definitely you just go and see whether the images are proper. Sometimes it won't take the images which are not proper. Generally it is going to take the .jpg or JPEG images. Okay, so let me say, where do I go? I will go to my project, and then I'm going to say resources. This is what I've done, and I'm going to select the banner 1. So what did I do? I went to my project, so that's this my. Okay, and I then went to the resources. So under this I went to this resources, and then I have selected the banner 1. So that's simple as that. Okay, so this is what I have written, my, so that's from here, my project, then resources, so under this resources, and then the name of it. Again, you don't need to worry about it. Visual Studio is powerful enough to help you out with these things, so you don't need to remember that. Let's go. What if I is equal to 1? Then what am I supposed to do? If I is else, let's say, not if, else, where is this? Else if I is equal to 1, and then what I'm going to, so I'm not going to type, I'm a bit lazy. I will copy paste it, and if you just remove this dot and put a dot here, you will see the other images. So Visual Studio will help you out with those things, so you don't need to worry about this. If you get extra and if remove it. Okay, then we have when the image is 2, I'm going to select this, Control C and again Control V. When the I is equal to 2, what are you going to do? Now I'm going to remove this and I'm going to put a dot and the third image. You can select any images. Get done, and then again Control V. When I is equal to 3, you need one more. Okay, put a dot and banner 4. Okay, last one, I is equal to 4. What is that you are going to do? I is equal to 4. Last image, I think I put one extra image there now. Okay, biotin, that's enough. Okay, so you have when I is equal to 0, remember this is they said 5 images. Okay, you are starting from 0, so one image, 1 2 3 4 5 images are there. So when I is equal to 0, this image, and I is equal to 1, this image I is equal to 3 and 4 and 4, so on. So every value of I you have to change, but when are you going to increment the value of I? So how do you get the value of I? Remember, the given value is 5 pictures should be shown. So you start from 0 up to 4, 0 1 2 3 up to 4. After 4 again come back from the 0 again. How do you get this functionality? Easiest one is divide the I by 5. So you go for the modulo division. When you do the modulo division, you know what are the remainders of 5. So when you divide any number by 5, either 5 divides it, then the remainder is 0. Either it will not divide it, then maximum remainder you get is 1 2 3 4. So anything, just take for example, you take a number 25. Divided by 5, the remainder is 0. Remainder, I am talking not the quotient, remainder. 21 divided by 5, remainder is 1. Okay, 24, remainder is 4. 26, if you say, remainder is 1. So you know that remainder of the 5 can range from 0 to 4. So you get only 0 to 4 values as the remainder, not the other. So how do you get this one? So I'm going to say increment the value of I. New value of I is old value of I by 2, because I is 0, then I must become 1 2 3 4. After 4 it should not appear as 5. If it appears as 5, you don't have any images. So I'm going to say mod 5. So after 5 it should come back. So let's give it a try. So this is what you said when the timer is clicked. This is what you said. Just give it a try and see whether we are able to see the images. And you see, for every 5 seconds your images are running smoothly. And one thing you must understand during the examination, like maybe it is good that it has happened. If the image is not supported, you will get an error message. So just go to the my project here. After importing, just go to the my project, go to this resources and see whether you have an exclamation. A red exclamation mark will come in a red circle. That means that image is not supported by the resource. For some good reason, you don't have to worry about that. It's not supported. So, okay, so we have done the first task is over. Next task is to display the date, time, and so on and so forth based on the greetings and so on and so forth. So here you notice that the time has to change every 1 second automatically. That means if you are displaying a time here at this junction, it has to change every second. That means you need one more timer that will come back to you and say, for every second it will come back to you, say, and okay, tell me what am I supposed to do. Every second it will come back. Okay, tell me what I'm supposed to do and what I'm supposed to do. And you are supposed to say to the timer that you change the time. Okay, so this is going to be one other terrible task. So let's go back to the toolbox and let's search for the timer again. So we need one more timer. So you have the timer here. Double click on the timer, and you notice that when you click here, two timers will come. Okay, so you notice that there are two timers are there. So the first timer is already set. Don't play with that first timer. It is already set. You have set the timer so that it's going to change the picture. The second timer will change the time here. So the time has to change every second. That is what they have said. Okay. If you look at the property of the second timer, so you look at this first timer, we have already set the tick for 500. Let's look at the properties of the second timer. You notice that for the second timer, the interval is 100 seconds, which is proper. For the first one, if you look at the properties, it is set to 500. We changed it for 5 seconds. The second one, the timer is proper. Now when this timer is clicked, we are supposed to show something. So let's go and double click on the second timer. The first timer we have already set it. Let's double click on the second timer. And this is the first timer. Let me remove additional spaces there. Okay. So this is our first timer, which is showing me all the pictures. And in the second timer, we are supposed to show a few things. One is the date and time. So we are supposed to show the date here. We are supposed to show the where is it? I will show it in my form only. We are supposed to show the date here. So let's show the date here. Let's okay. Where is the Visual Studio? Let's show the date here. How do I get this date here? For that, first I must know what is the text box number. So if you look at the properties, this is the text box 1. First one is the text box 1. Naturally, the second one will be the text box 2. So let me pin this one and this show you, so that is easier. I don't know, I clicked something else. I'm not supposed to click on that. Okay, come on Visual Studio. This is okay. Yeah, this is text box 2 and this is text box 3. So text box 1, text box 2, text box 3. We are supposed to play with 3 text boxes. So let's start with the first text box. I'm going to go over here and I will say text box 1 dot text. What is that? See, Visual Studio has something called as now. That is going to give you the current timing. I'm going to go to the now and I'm going to say show the short date string. Okay, to short date string. Now is a known keyword for the Visual Studio. It's going to tell you the current time. You don't have to bother. Visual Studio, the Visual Basic will take care of you. And that's the reason you are using Visual Basic, is it not? If it was C, you have to scratch your head and get that time. Here Visual Basic will directly do it. Let me just run it and just show you that what's going to happen. Okay, so where is this? Okay. You notice that nothing has happened. Why nothing has happened? You have not started the timer. Okay, so you just put the time here, you start. How do you start it? When the form is loaded, you said timer 1 has started. What about the timer 2? You have to say timer 2. Where is the timer? Okay, timer 2. Okay, dot start. You have to even say that. Otherwise, how can it start? Okay, done. Now let me run it, because if you don't start the timer, it won't show anything on the screen. And the timer has started, and it's going to show you the date. Okay, you got the date. Now you need time. So let's go back and let's go and ask this now itself. So this is the next text box. I'm going to go to this text box 2 dot text, and again I'm going to go to this now, and I'm going to say now give me the maybe too long. I'm going to say too long time, and too long time string. I don't want date. Okay, too long time string. So this is what I select, too long time string. This is too short date. Long date means it will say January, Monday, Tuesday, like that. It is going to show you very long date, which is not really required. And now let's look at this one. See here, you see this timing is automatic. Now you may see the word time. It is not automatic. Let me tell you, every 1 second this timer will come back. The second timer will come back and update your time. So it is not automatic. Without that you won't see this automatic increment. Now the last part is the greeting. Okay, again let's go to the timer. So if what is this, now dot hour. Now this is a hour, you know very well. In the time, hour is there, minutes is there, second is there. You are not small kids to tell you what is this. If the hour is less than 12, okay, that is if it is less than 12 o'clock, then what are you going to say? We will go to the text box 3 and you are going to say text box 3 dot text equal to, you are going to say good morning. Okay, done. Okay, then else if I'm going to just make copy paste, you know very well, I'm familiar with that. Okay, if it is 3 o'clock, that is 15, up to 3 o'clock you say good afternoon. Okay, afternoon. Okay, done. I'm going to just copy paste this again, control C and control V. And I think up to 7 o'clock, let's say 18, some people say up to 7 o'clock they say good evening. Okay, I will go 18 is you just add 18 hours means 6 o'clock, 19 is 7 o'clock. Okay, evening. And after that if somebody comes to you and then you say that I'm going to just copy paste it and you're going to say good night. Okay, I don't know whether it's a single word. Okay, done. Okay, let's give it a try and let's see whether we are getting it. Okay, this is 5 o'clock, 5:40, it must be good morning. Okay, and I am getting it. Done. Now when I scroll this scroll bars, the colors has to change. That is what they said. When you scroll, change the and background color. So this we will change the background color of that particular text box when this is changing. So let's go to this scroll bar. Now our part is over, this part is over. Let's go to this first scroll bar, and this first scroll bar, there are 3 scroll bars are there. If you look at there are 3 scroll bars are there. Okay, so just scroll down and you have the 3. Okay, let's double click on the first scroll bar. Okay, double click on the first scroll bar. And what is that you are supposed to do? We are supposed to change the color of this. So that is what they say, color of the thing that is showing the greetings. And you know very well your greetings are shown in this. You have to change the color, and this is text box 3. So let me double click on this scroll bar. When you double click on this scroll bar, it's going to say scroll. What is the meaning of it? As you scroll it, either using the button or as you scroll this one, it's going to call back to this method and it's going to say, okay, the values has changed, the scroll bar has moved, what am I supposed to do? And you are supposed to say that here. Okay, so what is that we are supposed to do? We are supposed to go to the text box 3 dot text not sorry, it is not text we are supposed to change. We are supposed to change the background color. It's not, I'm used to that. See the text there, so I just write it. How do you do it? You go to the color. Okay, and what is the color? Visual Studio, Visual Basic knows it. That is why you are using Visual Basic. If you have to write everything from the scratch, you will write C program. So then I'm going to say from ARGB. So this is RGB value. Say again, if you studied graphics, all colors on earth can be generated using the proper combination of red, green and blue. So you have to give those values. So these are 3 values that you see over here. One is for the red, other one is for the green, other one is for blue. So RGB values. Using this you can generate any color. So let's go and go to the first scroll bar. And I think this is the horizontal scroll bar, H scroll bar, and I'm going to ask it what is the value. So remember, when you change the scroll bar is going to tell you the value has changed. When you change this one, its value will change. So you have to ask it what is the value, give me the value, how much changes has been done. That you have to do it for the red color scroll bar, and then you have it for the where is it, a green color scroll bar and blue color scroll bar. Every scroll bar you have to ask it. And you know very well, I am a bit lazy in typing everything. You need to copy it and just paste it. So just think that I have just typed it. So this is the second scroll bar and the last scroll bar without the comma. So three values are there. Here you see these three values. The first one, this one, let me just get it here. So this one is the first scroll bar. This is for the red color. Okay. This one, scroll bar 2, is for the green color. This one is for the blue color. So three scroll bars were there. You know that there were three scroll bars were there. So when you move this scroll bar, this value, whatever value is there, is given for the red color, green color and blue color. However, there is one minor twist in this. Let's go to the form, and in the form, if you look at this scroll bar and the first scroll bar, if you look at this first scroll bar, right click on it and then go to its properties. You notice what is the value it's going to say. So this is a scroll bar 1. You see that the minimum value is 0, maximum is 100, but according to the, if you learn graphics, okay, this value can go up to 2 to the power 8, that is 256 it can go, because you are starting from 0, it is 1 less than 256, so 0 to 255. So always set this value as 0 to 255, 2 to the power 8 value. So 0 up to 256, but because you are starting from 0, it is 255. This is the value. You have to do it for all the scroll bars. So let me pin it first and then go to the second scroll bar. I am selecting the second scroll bar and you have to change the maximum value here. So you see this maximum value. This value you have to make it as 255. Similarly, for the next scroll bar, you have to just make it as 255. 3 are done. Okay. Let's go ahead and remember we have only set it for one scroll bar. We have to do it for the second scroll bar, third scroll bar. So I'm going to just double click on the second scroll bar. What is that I am supposed to do? The same thing that I have done it for the first scroll bar. For the first scroll bar, when you change it, you're going to come here and you're going to set the color. I will just select this one whole thing, Control C to copy it, Control V to paste it. Same thing, first one is for the R, second one is for the green and third one is for the blue. So same thing. Okay, the last one I will just remove it, otherwise it's going to come here. The last one, just double click on it. And for the scroll bar 3 also, this is the scroll bar 3. It is the same thing. So for the scroll bar 1, it is the same thing from RGB, first, second and third scroll bar values, RGB. For the second one also, this is red, this is green and this one will be blue. 3 scroll bar values you are taking and the last one is also same. Let me run it. And let's see whether we can change the color. As you change it, you see the colors are changing, and you see the colors are changing, and you can change the color according to your wish, and that you notice here it's changing. Okay, that's what they have said. Okay, we have done with that. And let's look at what is the next challenge that they have given. And also we are supposed to change the font size. So this is for the font. I am supposed to change the font size also. So how can I change the font size? So let's go to the scroll bar, vertical scroll bar here. I'm going to just double click on the vertical scroll bar. And when this scroll bar is changing, what is that we are supposed to do it? So that is what I'm supposed to write. We are supposed to change the size of the font. That is what they have said. We are supposed to change the size of it. So here they said change the font size. How am I going to do it? So let's go and let's look at the text box 3. You know very well that is the text box 3. This is the text box 3 and we are supposed to play with that text box 3. Let's say text box 3 dot, I'm going to say font because it has to do with the font. What is that I am supposed to do? I'm going to create a new font. Okay. What is a font? Visual Studio knows, Visual Basic knows that what is a font. You don't need to worry about it. Okay. The first thing it's going to say, what is I will go, what is the family of the font? So what is the meaning of it? There is a family, like you have Arial, you have Roman, and so on. So when you see the font, actually the font has a different family, from which family means, you know very well, you have your family from which you are derived. You have some resemblance with your great grandparents, that is why it is called as family. Similarly, there are sans fonts are there, sans serif fonts are there. So they have the family from which it is derived. Time New Roman that you are using, Times New Roman, that is derived from the Roman. Okay, there is a family called as Roman from which it is derived. It is not Roman who are warriors and other things. It is the font name. Okay, how you have your family name from which you are derived. Similarly, font is derived from a family, and it is asking me what is the family. I really don't know. So what to do? I will go to the text box 3 again, and I am going to ask this text box 3, say you have some font. Say, look at here, text box 3 should have some font. That is why it should have some family and other thing. That's why it's able to show the fonts. Okay, and I am going to ask it to tell me the font family. So in other words, I am not going to change the family of this font from Times New Roman. I am not going to change it to Arial or anything. Let it be the same font, let it be there, but I am going to change its size. So how do you change the size? We have this vertical scroll bar. Okay, vertical scroll bar, and I'm going to ask it what is the value of it. Okay. So this vertical scroll bar is there. This is the vertical scroll bar. If you see the property of it, this is V scroll bar 1. Okay, this is V scroll bar 1, and I am asking this V scroll bar 1 what is the value. However, you must understand that the minimum value is 0, which is not allowed. You cannot set the font size as 0. So always remember this is very, very important, otherwise your application will crash. So minimum you set it as 1. So it is really required that you set this minimum as 1. If you don't do it, you are going to end up in bigger trouble. So let me go here, and let's see whether I can change the font. See there, I can see. Okay, enough. Okay, you can play with that. Maybe I can just increase its size like this, and let me play with this now. Okay, see there. Okay, good morning is coming like this. With the color, I can change the color. Okay, and my timer is also clicking. Very nice. And my images are also changing. That's also nice. Only thing is I am not ended. Okay, so how do you end it? Just click on this end, double click on this end, and how do you say this one? Let me go to the timer as a good thing. I will just go to the timer 1, and I'm going to say stop. Okay. Even if you don't suppose if you say, what if you don't stop, the timer will continue? No, once you close your application, timer will automatically die. So operating system will not allow it to go, but as a good developer, you are supposed to stop it. And finally, I'm going to say this is the end of your program. Okay. Let me see the picture box timer. So there is some text that I'm supposed to do it. I just forgot that. Picture box. We'll just click on this picture box, and I'm going to say, what did they say? Picture box timer. This is what they say. So let me change I am clicking on this form itself, the bigger form. Click here. I want to change this one. That's it. I go to the properties of this form, and I'm going to change picture box. Something they have said, picture box. I just forgot what they have typed. Picture box timer. Picture box timer. Okay, so this is it. You got it, and almost everything is done. And you can, if you click on end, everything should end. That is also there. Just a minute. Okay, so there was one small problem. Okay, let's come back, and I think I have not fixed this part. Where is this red, green, blue has to be there. Here if you see, let me get that red, blue, green. So I'm going to just click on here, and I said at the end I'm going to fix it. I think you have something else, that font color is there, it just came there fortunately. I will make it as red. So will it come as red? Okay, it has come as red. Maybe if you want, you can make it as where is this bold? Where is that bold gone? Okay, so bold in the font. Oh, I have, sorry, I should have. So I just made 4 color as red, and the bold I will make it as 2 for this font. So you see that red has appeared. Similarly, I'm going to click on this green, and I'm going to go to the properties of the screen. You can right click and go to the property, one and the same, and I'm going to make the font of this label 2, and bold I'm going to make it is true, and I will take the 4 color as green. You can just type G here. Where is green? Green. Okay, you see this as green. And the last one, let's go to the last one. Let me click on this blue, and let me go here, and 4 color I'm going to make it as blue. Okay, I'm just changing the 4 color as blue, 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 and I will go to the font here, click on the plus sign of the font, and I am going to make it as bold. So that's it, red, green, blue, and that's what they have said. I don't know whether they have changed the color. Okay, they have changed the background color of this form to white. So let me click on this form itself. This time I'm just clicking on this form. Anywhere you can click on this form. Go to the property, right click and go to the properties of this form, and background color. Now you have to search for the background color. So back color, you notice this back color is there, and you have to make it as white. So just say white. Is it there? White W, white. Let's see whether it's going to, will it appear as white? Okay, it is appeared as white. Let me run it for the last time, and that's it. You have the program running in white color, and everything is there. Timer is changing. Good morning is there. You can change the color. You can change the color, and you can change its size. Okay, done, and you can end it. That's all in this class. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next class.